What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm J-Lag.
And I'm NB.
And this episode is recapping and reviewing Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Season 3, Episode 7, and it's called Chapter 27, The Judas Kiss.
And don't forget, guys, stick around for the ending because we are going to go through our recap roundup to our best moments, our best lines of the episode. So be sure to stick around for the end of the podcast for that.
We also have our contest going on right now for a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card and pop socket. To enter, all you need to do is rate and comment on our iTunes page, and you'll be entered in the draw. We're extending this contest to the end of Riverdale Season 4. As always, to our continuing listeners and our brand new ones, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the episode, y'all.
Yeah, another good one. We are on a roll here.
Fucking crazy.
Great
this was
episode.
The craziest episode
Yeah.
I feel like I've ever seen on any show of like near recent moments. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, the entire fucking cast is dead is what we're trying to say.
Basically. Yeah, basically.
Like, literally everyone's fucking dead. So I'm like, the fuck?
Let's start right at the top because
Yes.
I want to talk about Zelda, and they find her on the floor.
Yeah. So it picks up, like I said, right off, like how they do it for
They
pretty
hear
much
the
every
gunshot.
episode. They hear the gunshot. They
Yeah.
come downstairs and they find Zelda on the floor, and they're so now it's not Prudence, Ambrose and Sabrina, and they're like, what do? We need to go talk to someone, and they take her to Mama Marie, the voodoo queen, and she's basically in limbo right now, so you have to just wait for her to come back to life, like a normal person. So like, to your point of what you were saying last podcast, you know, it's almost like they can't heal her.
It's a natural death almost.
It's like a natural shot, so like they can't do anything about it. Also, like, they don't have any powers to heal her anyway, so like they're fucked either way. And they start to hear this like wailing, this screaming outside.
So freaky.
So they go outside and they see this like woman, like demon thing in the
she's like dressed in black. She looks like she's like at a funeral, basically.
Yeah.
And she's like crying, like weeping.
She's like,
she's like, oh! I'm like, yo, what is this? This is freaky.
That was great. And it's a banshee, and Prudence basically says that means that the Spellmans, either one or many of you, will die tonight. Like, it's an omen of death. The banshee's an omen of death. And Sabrina's like, fuck that shit. It's not even true. It's not gonna happen. But that's kind of like the whole thing of the show, the episode. Then it comes back to Wardwell's house, and now the devil is like back and awake and alive, and he's now like himself. He's actually like the Dark Lord, and he's separated from Blackwood. I didn't think that he was actually gonna come back. I thought that she was gonna like trick him and keep him in there, but she like legit followed his orders and
she did it real quick.
Them. Yeah. So he like goes into the living room and he's about to kill her, but then she's like, wait, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, why is everybody out here using that as an excuse for every storyline nowadays? Like, I'm out here watching one show. I'm watching fucking You. Spoiler alert, if you guys haven't watched it already. Like, everybody's out here, like, getting pregnant in the most, like, optimal moments.
I mean, it was the smartest thing she could do.
It's true.
And, like, on top of that, she's like, I took your sperm and I got a son. I was like, oh, shit. Like, she did, like, fucking... You know, she got a male sperm up in there.
She basically like done like, she's like, I fucked Blackwood with your dick, and like now I'm pregnant with your baby. I was like, okay.
Like if you ever were confused about like how this like 2-in-1 person works, she just made it that much more confusing. She's like, no, I fucked his dick, but like, your sperm came out. But your
sperm, it was possessed with your jizz. Like
okay. All right.
Devil sperm. Anyway, he kind of buys it. He's like, okay, cool.
He's like, ooh, I'm down for that storyline.
Yeah. And you do find out in this moment that Blackwood is gone, and he has something called the Mark of Cain, which makes him unkillable. So that's a pretty big deal.
But do they say who gave that to him? Like, did the devil give him the mark?
So in exchange for the sperm, she gives him the Mark of Cain.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So he can't be. I don't think he can even be tracked. Like, he can't be tracked.
So basically,
and he can't be killed.
she's like she's like, let me fuck you, and like I'll give you protection too. So like they both win basically.
Basically, like she made a deal with him.
Yeah.
So speaking,
would you have liked to see that though? Because I kind of would have liked to see that scene.
Fully would have. Yeah, but I guess it was just like kind of the surprise of it all to be like, oh, he's now like not available.
That's true.
Or whatever, but yeah,
unavailable.
He's now unavailable. He's now offline. So speaking of, it shows Blackwood, and he gets caught by the pagans at the carnival, but right before they're about to like kill him, he's like, yo, I have the mark of Cain, so you can't kill me, number one. And number two, we're both on the same side. I want to kill all those bitches too. And he says like, I have these underground ways like to get back into the academy. Yeah. So he's like, we'll do this. And he like really wants that egg back. Like he's like, I need the thing that is promised to me. Like it is mine. So like that's his like main goal. And then we get a really quick scene with Theo and Robin, and because this is like all about the virgins and they all gotta have sex, they basically all have to fuck.
They have sex, yeah.
So Theo and Robin, they hook up, and then it cuts to Roz and Harvey, and they're starting to have sex.
They're about to sex it up.
Yeah, but
and then she like messes it all up. She's like, but do you still love Sabrina? I'm like, girl, she cunned too early.
That's why. Like she like cunned and she was like, oh. And then she's like, I can't cun for real anymore. Like, she's like, I cunned in my eyeballs.
She ruined the moment. And then she was like, do you still love Sabrina? And he's like, doesn't even know how to answer that. He's like, oh, my dick is so hard right now. I can't even think.
See, that's his fault too, though. Like, it's his fault for like not being able to actually like make her feel confident.
Because he does love her.
Yeah. Hashtag love triangle. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But like, they obviously like don't go through with it. Like, they don't fuck.
Yeah. So he's still a virgin, basically.
Which is like, why won't you guys just do it for the fact that like he won't get murdered?
They're so you know tight, I mean?
Like, give him a blowjob or like I don't know, like anything. Like you're telling me that she walked away.
It's so ridiculous that the thing that they're using this season is like he's a virgin. Yeah, he's a virgin. Him. I'm like, yo, that's so tight. Like you guys are beating this poor kid out, man.
You're like virgin shaming everybody. It's so tight. So it cuts back to hell. And now the Dark Lord, like I said, he's like back in his own body. So he's like, hey guys, he's saying hi to his whole court. And he's like, I'm about to take the throne again. Like it's my turn again. And everybody's like, but there's like the unholy regalia happening and it needs to be finished.
Like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, because like, even he's like, what the fuck? You want me to like wait for these bitches to finish these goddamn challenges?
Yeah, they're like, you can't even like, even you, the devil, can't like go above the regalia. I'm like, really, guys? Like, you guys would really be dead right now, like in a second. Like, get the fuck out of here. Exactly. He's the motherfucking devil. Like, he made the rules.
Yeah, like just break that shit. But anyway, so he's bound by it, so he can't do anything about it. Then it cuts to the Spellman household, and Ambrose is trying to figure out a way to like get more power, because like she's gonna be the person that's gonna be able to do the most shit.
Save everyone.
Yeah. So he's like, well, we can pull energy from all the old hedge witches and put it into Sabrina so she can help the ants. Because for one, not only is Hilda not back from the dead in Cain's pit, Zelda's also like dying in the basement. So she's like, okay, well, maybe we can pull all the energy together. But then they're also worried about like some of the older witches dying because of this, like as sacrifice. And Sabrina's like, no, we don't have to like kill the other witches. Why don't I just pull from like another cult? And so she's like, I have an idea. And so she's obviously
this didn't really make sense to me though. Like I didn't get the connection at all.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But before we cut to that, it shows Zelda in the basement. And Marie is obviously like just kind of like meditating over her body, and she has her we see the first moment of her in limbo. So this is when Zelda kind of like wakes up and realizes that she's in limbo, but it looks like the Spellman house. And she walks into the kitchen, and she even sees Hilda, and Hilda's like making breakfast. And Zelda's like, okay, well, you got to come back to life because, you know, like we need your help. And Hilda doesn't want to leave because she just like hates her life now. Like she killed her fucking husband or her fiance. So she's like, I'm done. I don't want to go back. But what we do see is Edward comes back.
Ooh,
Sabrina's daddy, Mystery Daddy comes back. So that was a big moment. So as we were talking about with this whole academy situation and the cheerleaders, all the cheerleaders come together and sit in the middle of the stones while all of the cult or the coven are around them, like holding hands like weirdos. But yeah, it was a kind of weird moment for them to be using the cheerleaders as energy, because basically you're using,
they don't have powers. Like,
yeah, they don't have powers. Like, is it because
if you're looking for power, go to the fucking power plant and like take the power? Like, why do you have to go to like a bunch of cheerleaders? Like, they're like 16-year-old girls. Like, I didn't get the connection at all. I didn't get it.
I think Ambrose like whispers it while he's saying the prayer, like, but while he's saying the spell, he basically says like, take this as offering for, like, take this dance and this ritual, which was basically the cheer that they were doing, as offering for the energy that we can get from them, some shit like that. So like I was like, all right, I guess I'll run with it, but I agree with you. I just thought it was kind of random as well. But the cheerleaders sang "Hey Mickey," which for me was from Bring It On, and I feel like they ruined that for me. That fucking song.
It was just too. We're too deep into the ending of this whole season, right? We're too deep into the mission, so I felt like I didn't need this at this moment. You know what I mean? Like, my brain is on like fair. Saving Zelda. My brain is on saving like everyone, like the ants. Like, don't take me to this fucking cheerleading squad
like,
right now.
Hey,
like,
Mickey,
it's so random.
and I'm like, girls, stop.
Yeah.
So anyway, it does work. Like, everybody gets like their powers. They can all feel the energy draining. The one thing that I will say that it was kind of tight was like Roz is also one of the girls that get their energy drained. Like, she like starts feeling winded. I'm like, damn, you're not even like a good friend. You couldn't tell your friend Roz to be like, stand in the corner while we drain energy from everyone else. True. But while that's happening, like right as soon as they get their energy, Blackwood shows up right away. He like breaks the doors down, and she like just in the nick of time, Sabrina's able to teleport the cheerleaders back to school and like the rest of the coven to hell. So she does that really fast, but like almost barely. So cutting back to hell, Sabrina brings everybody together. Everybody's there now. And she zaps back to school because the little dolls that have the energy for Zelda and Hilda are still sitting there. And she's like, we need that power. But as she goes back to get them, she bumps into Blackwood again. And Blackwood's like, you'll never get, like, where did you go? And then she like, whatever, disappears. But really quickly, before we cut back to hell, Blackwood, we find out that Dorcas fucking gets killed. Like,
yeah, like, they didn't even show that.
The most random moment ever.
It was so weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this, because like she's obviously dead. Like, they killed her. Like, she's dead. Like, this is her moment of death. Like, it was fucked up. And you find out that she was killed by Agatha, because Agatha like comes out of the woodwork and she's like, it was me, Daddy. Like, it was me. I killed her, because like whatever. And I don't know. The one thing I will say was I found it very frustrating that Prudence, even though like Dorcas, who just came back to like from being a stone, came back to normal life, and Agatha, who's literally gone insane, like she hasn't like how come she hasn't been keeping tabs on her sisters this whole time? Or did she just trust that they were going to be
busy,
okay?
You know? Everyone's just like doing their own thing and like so effing busy. So it's like, I get it.
I don't know. I feel like that was probably the one plot hole that I was a little bummed about, because I'm like, how are you going to let fucking crazy Agatha run around with Dorcas and then fucking kill her off by accident? I would have, like, to your point, like, I would have loved to at least see it so I can believe that that's the situation that we're in, you know? Yeah. Like, we're seeing a lot of deaths that aren't on screen, and a part of me is like, if you didn't see it in real life, then is it real? But like, Dorcas looks dead. Like, there's no way around that. And a part of me is almost like they had to cut it for time almost, which
it could be.
Which is a little disappointing, but like, I get it. The show, like, they pack so much shit into the show. So back in hell, Sabrina now is like, I need to save my aunt and Zelda. They're still in they're still in the house. But the Dark Lord basically says, like, you need to finish this regalia, like, just to get the power. And the rest of the coven is like, yeah, like, just finish it off. Let's just get this done. And so we can move on with our lives and you can get the power that you need. And so they like continue with the regalia, and they have to find these coins. It's Judas's like 30 coins of silver that he got when he betrayed Jesus. Like, it's very religious. And the Dark Lord kind of like low-key cheats and helps Sabrina out and uses like their like mind reading powers to tell her to go straight to Judas, who is now in the 9th circle of hell. Like, he's in the deepest layer of hell. He's like, go find him and he'll tell you where the coins are. So we got our second scene from Limbo, and Edgar is just kind of like walking Zelda through, and she finds a memory with like her as a young witch in the school with Faustus, with Blackwood. And there's just a moment where he rips a page out of the book and throws it in the garbage, and she, as the adult now, like pulls it out, and she sees that it has like a moon crescent on it, and they're trying to decipher like between her and Hilda, like, what does it all mean? And Zelda's like, I don't know, like maybe it has to do with the hair moon, like I'm not really sure yet, whatever. It continues. And then back in hell, Sabrina finds Judas in the 9th circle, and she talks to him, and he basically says, there's 2 ways to get these coins. The first way is to betray someone betray someone that you love with a kiss of betrayal. Or number 2, I can show you like the longer way, which like means you have to like actually go and physically get it. And she's like, okay, let me just do the short way. So she like goes to Harvey, because she's like, I know exactly who I can betray, because she wants to just get this fucking thing. She goes and she talks to Harvey, but Harvey in this exact moment is like having so many fucking problems with Roz. He's like, yo, just letting you know, like, we didn't fuck last night, and like I'm really like tormented about it. Roz is kind of cheesed with me, whatever. And so she's already feeling bad about that whole scenario. So she's like, okay, I obviously can't do that to my friends. So she decides not to. She goes back to hell, and then he's like, okay, well, you're gonna have to go to the grave of Vlad the Immortal and get the coins physically from there. So that's what's happening over there.
It does get very confusing. Like, you really have to pay attention to like all these different like things that she needs to go through.
Yeah, it's like mission.
I'm over this whole regalia thing. Like, I am so far over it, because like it just got way too in depth when there's all these other things happening on the outside too, right? Like,
right.
It's a lot. It's a lot to like kind of keep up with.
I mean, I do think that they did that on purpose to make it feel like she had to make a choice between one over the other. Yeah.
You know, like it does work. It's just like you really have to like pay attention.
Yeah, exactly. So back at Baxter High, Theo, Roz, and Harvey get a call from the office to like just go there, and they're like, okay, that's weird. But as they walk there, they find out that it's the pagans. So they're like going after them. And so they hide in the library, and it's a really cool scene. And I don't mean to like rush through it, but basically it's like a very like mysterious and dark. They're like trying to find them through the bookshelves, and right in the exact moment of one of them getting caught, Robin like flies in, and finally like his superpower of like being super fast like gets them all out. Like, he's like Speedy Gonzalez over here. So he gets them all out of the library, and they go to the garage, and they're like, oh god, we gotta find Sabrina. Like, we need to call on her now, but we don't know how to get to her. And so they're like, why don't we use the pen, the fancy marker that she used to talk to Nick? Maybe like it'll be able to message her that way. So Roz has to go back and like get the marker from her locker or whatever. Then it cuts to our third moment in Limbo, where now it is the moment where Zelda and Hilda get Sabrina for the first time, like as a baby. And so it shows Hilda and Zelda picking up the baby and then walking upstairs. But then in the crib, it shows Sabrina's baby blanket, and it's like another crescent moon. So it's all these like moon motifs that keep kind of popping up and like aligning, and now Zelda's like starting to kind of put the pieces together.
Yeah.
So then it cuts to Dorian's, and Nick sees Sabrina before she's about to like jump into another painting, and he talks to her and he's like, good luck. But he also says like, why are you doing this like random fucking like test instead of helping your family who's literally dying? And she's like, I don't have a choice right now. Like, what am I going to do? But I do feel like they are trying to make that, like, to your point that you just made, like they are trying to make that direct comparison. The fact that she made a choice to like do this challenge instead of like actually helping her family. So she goes through the painting, and she's like right there in front of the grave of Vlad. She takes the coins, and this bitch obviously like turns around, and then she starts counting them right there in front of this tombstone, but she's not facing the grave. So she's like counting the coins. She's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And obviously as the viewers, you're watching in the background this body like resurrect from the grave, and it's Vlad. He comes back to life, and he does this like weird hypnotism thing to her, and like he does say that he's like the first vampire or something like that. Like it turns out that Judas is the first vampire, and that's his dad or some shit like that. Like I don't know, it got very confusing. Anybody who knows that mythology, I'd like love for Cole's Notes version of that.
Like they didn't need to like expand on that. Like just fucking screw this girl over and get done with it. Like I didn't need the whole history of this.
You know, it's funny because it's funny that you say that, because like a part of me was interested enough to like learn a little bit, but because I'm sure it's rooted in some sort of mythology or some history. But a part of me is also like, guys, I don't need this right now. Like let's just move on with our lives. But anyway, he tries to bite her while she's hypnotized, because she's like fully hypnotized. He tries to bite her and suck her blood, but as soon as he tries to bite her, like his like teeth start to burn because she has celestial blood. Like that's the reason why.
Yeah, she's like, nah, my blood is crazy.
And then she's also like, don't ever fucking bite me again without asking, you bitch.
She's like, I'm not Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Okay?
Yeah, you little dick. And so it cuts to the garage again. And instead of Sabrina showing up, because like they tried to write, it shows up on his hand, and he shows up instead. And so
he's like, it doesn't work like that, guys. He's like, it only comes to my hand.
He's like, clearly it was between the two of them. It was a
really cute way to incorporate Nick in all of this too, because he has been sort of MIA like since they broke up. So this was a really great way to kind of bring him back into the storyline,
right,
and side him with her friends, right? And I think it worked really well.
No, I loved it too. So he shows up, even though he like doesn't do shit for them. He's trying to like understand what's going on, and he finds out that the pagans are trying to resurrect the Green Man, which will kill all the humans. Whatever, it's the same story that we've been hearing. But right in that moment, the pagans show up and corner them in the garage, like they can't get out. Yeah. And then they're like, "How did you find us?" And the snake lady, like the Gorgon, she's like, as soon as I get like the virgin smell, like I can never like let go of it.
I smelt your virginity across town, you fucking loser.
On the side of this, I was also like, I know that they need a virgin, and I know they like have to do this for the show or whatever, but like, are you fucking telling me that Harvey's the only fucking virgin?
No, it's
in
so
the
stupid.
Fucking
and then again, they like look at him, and there's like a crowd of like 20 people or whatever, and they're like, "We need you, you motherfucking virgin," and he's like, like he's like, this poor kid is like, bro, virgin stop shamed. Beating me out, man, because like now Nick is there too, so Nick's like hearing that he's still a virgin, he's like, loser, like whatever. I'm like, Harvey, I feel so bad for you, like
poor guy.
He's
just trying to live his best life. Oh man. So then it cuts to the Spellman household, and this is like when all the shit fucking goes down.
This is
God.
This is the start of it all. Yeah,
this is crazy. So Prudence goes back into the house and she hears things kind of like rumbling around, and she sees Agatha in one of the areas. And before Agatha can, because she sees her with like all the blood all over her, and she's like, whose blood is that? And Agatha's like, it's our sister's. And she tries to attack her, but obviously Prudence has to kill her. So she stabs her with her sword. And she like lays her down, and that's when Agatha kind of comes to, and she's like, Blackwood. She's like,
Blackwood. And she's like, what?
She's like, say it again. What do you mean? And so exactly in that moment, she gets fucking stabbed by Blackwood in the back. And I was like, yo.
I'm like, yo, you're killing your daughter.
So much of this shit is happening. I was like, this is fucked. It was a really like crazy moment.
He kills, like, he stabs her, but then he kind of like dips, he like runs away or whatever, or like does she go somewhere else after that?
Right.
Does she teleport somewhere after?
No, she dies. Like, Prudence dies.
No, but how does she call Ambrose if she's not she's not dead yet? She
uses like her like brain power, like her telepathy or whatever, because I feel like all witches have that kind of ability.
Yeah.
So Ambrose
and
is
that
like
was
kind
really
of
cute too, eh? That was so cute how they did that.
She like calls for him because
it's almost like they have a connection almost, you know?
Yeah, because he's outside. He's like hanging out with Hilda's on the grave and like with Salem, and he sees the banshee in the corner or whatever, and he's like. And then he hears her voice. She's like,
Ambrose, I'm dying. Come to me.
Yeah, basically, she's like,
I need that dick.
She's like, 5 more seconds. Like, do a quickie, real quick before I die. So he comes back inside. He's about to cry, and she says like, you need to run. It was Blackwood. You need to like go in hiding. Take the egg with you. Like, just get the fuck out of here. And then. She dies. This bitch dies.
She dies in his arms. And he's like bawling. But like, this is the thing, guys. Like at this point, like too many people are dying. So I'm like, none of this shit's going to really matter. Like it's going to have to go back to whatever. Cause like, it's just not like, you're not going to have a show anymore. Like, So it almost, I messaged J-Lag and I was like, I almost wish that they didn't like pop off with all these deaths because now I'm not really falling for it anymore, you know? So
true.
And it was a really beautiful moment between Ambrose and Prudence, and I wish that wasn't taken away by the fact that like I just didn't really believe it.
It's not gonna it's not real or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I do agree with you. I will say though, like the fact that it actually played out in one reality, like I don't know, I have a big assumption of what's gonna happen for next episode, but because there's you're right, there's no way that it's gonna go like everybody fucking like half the cast is dead, but I will say that I did love seeing it play out because like when are we ever gonna see her die in his arms
for sure? Like, and this was the only way they could do that. This was the only way.
So I did love it. The acting was fantastic. It was so tragic, like the fact that she had to kill her own sister and then Blackwood kills, like it was all very like poetic and like very high energy. Like people were literally dying left and right and center. I was like, this is fucking crazy. So not final moment, but another crazy moment that happens. Zelda's obviously still in the basement in limbo. Marie is standing over her body, but now we know that Blackwood is inside the Spellman household. Like he's there.
Yeah.
And he's like ready to kill. So she, in her limbo moment, sees herself dying, but dying as like an old lady. And she sees these like moon symbols above her head. And she like realizes what the answer is. At this point in time, I still don't know what the fuck she knows.
Yeah, I'm like, what, Sailor Moon? Like, what are you trying to get at? Like,
I told you guys, this is all fucking some Sailor Moon shit.
Yeah.
Like since the beginning, I've literally been calling it out. So she literally, like, this is the fucking craziest moment. So she gets up right away. She's like, I have the answer.
She wakes up on the table and she's like, oh my god, I know how to like get our powers back. And it's like, I'm like,
it was fucked. So like first she wakes up and she sees the banshee like screaming in her face. And then she sees on the side like Marie's already dead, and then she looks on the left side and Blackwood's like right there, and she's like, you motherfuck, and then she like gets stabbed in the chest and she fucking dies. I was like, what the fuck? And like we just said, obviously like they all have to come back to life, but I just love the fact that like no one was safe in this moment. You know what I mean?
You're right. Like it's the one time where you can play with the deaths of these characters because you're not gonna ever get that chance again. So yeah, it's just kind of all kind of coming down towards the end of the episode.
Right.
And at this point you're wondering, okay, what is this all gonna lead to? Like Blackwood, he's like killing everyone basically.
Yeah. So and he's like laughing now. He's like, I fucking won. I'm like basically like the happiest person
Which is
ever.
so weird because like for most of the season, Blackwood was so MIA or like he was just a part of the Devil's character. So you're not really thinking much about him. But in this last like 7 minutes, he's like legit murdering the entire cast.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, like, true, so you're back. Tight. Like Daddy's back.
Daddy's back and he's back to like kill everybody. It's so unfair. So back in hell, obviously Sabrina goes back to Judas and she's like, yo, I got the coins. And he's like, let me feel the coins in my hands. And she falls for it. She gives him the coins and it's Caliban.
So stupid. She's so stupid.
Such a fucking idiot.
Because like he did this on her already. He done like, played this game with you, I girl.
Know. Like, girl. And why do you got to give it to fucking Judas? Judas is literally in the 9th layer of hell. Why do you give a shit? Like, he's there for a reason. Just fucking dip.
Yeah, it was so stupid.
I was kind of annoyed about this. So yeah, so it's Caliban. He switches her right away. Like she gets put into the stone, and he's like, I wanted life. I wanted everything.
Yeah, he's like, you're frozen. Goodbye.
And then she's like, I'm gonna call for like Wardwell or not Wardwell for Lilith or the Dark Lord. He's like, you're fucked because they're literally right beside you. And then it zooms out and it shows Wardwell and the Dark Lord on either side of her, like also in the stone. So I'm like, wait, so
how did that happen?
So that's my question to you is like, did it happen because she got caught in the stone? Like as soon as he made the switch, did they get caught in the stone or
like they were already there?
Was he already? Yeah, were they already there? Like
they must have already been there, but like how did they do that?
Yeah,
and like how did they do that?
It was just a very like random moment. Like I hope they explain that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So the final scene that we see, like this shit like got worse and worse and worse.
Seriously.
Like everyone was fucked. So then it cuts to the carnival and everybody's tied up. So Roz and Theo are tied up in like a dunk tank area. The green man is now like pretty much like ready to go, and Harvey is like latched together, like he's inside the middle of it because he's the virgin sacrifice. And then on the side tip, Robin is literally like murdered on the side corner.
Yeah.
Nick has been turned into stone. So like everybody's
everyone's dead.
Fucked.
Like it's fucked. Like,
and like the way that Harvey dies, like everyone's screaming, everyone's crying. And Harvey is literally in the green man. He's getting like swallowed alive. Like he's like all the branches are going inside of him and Roz is screaming. She's like, no, my boyfriend.
It's just very like, it was a very like aggressive, vicious, like vicious death.
Yeah.
And the kind of last shot is like, you do see the pagans and like they're winning. Like they basically won at life. You know what I mean? Like they rose the green man and this is like game over for them.
And they're calling for Sabrina. And like the final shot is like her in hell, and her like face is stone now, and that's how the whole fucking episode ends, man.
Yeah, crazy episode, crazy.
What a sick fucking episode. I love this show so much. I cannot wait for this finale. I don't know about you guys, but like it was so good. It was so good. Let's get into our recap roundups.
Recap roundups.
Best moment. I think my best moment is gonna be sort of the last like 6-7 minutes where everything really starts to like start and everyone starts to die. I just think the way they shot it all and to make everyone's death so unique kind of and in like in a different way, even though knowing that like it's probably all gonna be fake and like we're gonna get them, they're gonna come back to life or whatever it is. It was still such a sick sequence to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't get that many chances to see them wipe out like a whole cast, so it was pretty cool.
It's true. No, that's a really good point. My best moment's gonna go specifically to that, like, that entire sequence was amazing, but that final moment at the carnival where they're all like screaming for bloody murder.
It was crazy. Yeah,
so intense. I'm like, how the fuck are they gonna come back from this? We'll see.
WTF moment.
What was your WTF moment?
WTF moment, you have a couple, but I'm just gonna take the first one, and that was Wardwell saying she's pregnant.
Yeah,
because I was like, wait, what? Like, I didn't realize like that was your end game. Like, I didn't know like you wanted his fucking sperm and like you wanted to get pregnant.
Yeah.
But cool, I'm happy for you. Like, you should be a mom at some point, I guess. Like, I just didn't understand where that came from.
Yeah,
and it was so random.
Yeah.
But I am down for it. Like, I am down to see her have his heir, and what is that gonna mean for Sabrina, because like now he's gonna have a son. So it's like, is he gonna like the son more than Sabrina? Like, you know, that's gonna come into play for sure.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see if that like actually happens like by this season or next season. Yeah, like I said, there were so many crazy WTF moments, but I'll probably give mine to Prudence getting killed and then watching Agatha die at this, like, that whole sequence was also fucking crazy too.
Yeah.
And like it was just sad. Like, yeah, Ambrose coming in and having like her dying in his arms. Like, it was a sad moment for sure.
MVP.
Who's your MVP?
My MVP is gonna go to Prudence. You know, yeah, okay, she died at the end, but I think that she tries to save her sisters in the last seconds of her life, I guess.
She's like, okay.
And I think you just see like she, like where we see her in the beginning of this whole series and where we see her now, where like she has these amazing relationships and like she loves so fucking hard. And like her and Ambrose's relationship is so cute. Like,
I know,
where did it come from? And like, it's just so adorable. I love them together. And yeah.
On that note, my MVP is gonna be Ambrose, because he he was trying his best to like get
this season.
Together.
This season they definitely like upped Ambrose's like mission. Like, he has been, you know, at the root of everything, and like he knows everything basically. Like, everything, they're like, go to Ambrose. Like, he'll answer the question for you.
He'll answer. So, you know, it's really funny because I think you mentioned that like a couple of episodes back during our podcast, and I was like, it's true. They really gave him like very active answers, and he really did solve a lot of things. I
guess because like he's read so many books, or like he knows so many things, which makes sense.
Works. It totally works. I'm totally down for that, like him being that character, because before he was like doing some dumb shit with Blackwood, and I was like done over it. I was like, that's stupid.
LVP.
Yeah.
Who's your LVP?
My LVP is gonna go to Sabrina. And
same. She's mine too.
I know yours is the same. Just probably just right at the end. I think her giving the coins to this guy, like, bro, get your coins and dip. Like, what are you doing giving him your coins? Like, you're so stupid. And he literally played the exact same prank on you, like, in the first round. So, like, you should not forget that. It was such a dumb move for her to make. And ultimately, it cost her, like, the universe and, like, all her friends. So,
exactly.
You done fucked up, girl.
She done fucked it up.
The best line. My best line was yours, so you can go ahead and say it.
My best line is when she's talking to Vlad after he bites her, and she goes, also consent, it's real, and then she punches him.
so cute.
Social media. Social justice.
Social media.
That's what I meant to say. I meant to say social justice.
Social commentary.
That one. Final announcements. We have our contest going on right now for a chance to win our $50 Amazon gift card and Pop Socket. To enter, all you need to do is rate and comment on our iTunes page, and you'll be entered in the draw. We're extending this contest to the end of Riverdale Season 4, so you still have lots of time to enter. I'd like to take this time to thank our patrons of the episode, our Rewinder Squad: White, Nicole, Faith, Lit Rewinders, Tina Ann, Sarge, Serena, Soleil, Kate, and Jessica, and our Mommy Rewinders, Becca, Sarah, Tamla, and Grace.
Thanks, guys. And if you would like to join our Patreon family, check us out at patreon.com/recap_rewind. If you're joining, get access to all things Recap Rewind, exclusive content, and updates.
And also make sure you guys are checking us out on all of our socials: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. You can also find us on Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iTunes. Like, subscribe, follow, review, and comment to stay engaged with us at Recap Rewind. Thanks for listening. Bye.